I love being alive. I love it. You know, die young, stay pretty is the saying, but I'd rather be an old withered bag and keep living.
Susie!
Whatever.
That is ridiculous.
1 minute you're calling me a cougar, and next you're saying you're not too old.
Who needs an SSRI when you have Susie? I mean, this is like out of control.
I'm on that too.
I really do believe that we're all just taller toddlers. And it's time to start talking about it. Because you're supposed to like your life.
Today I'm having a play date with the brilliant, marvelous, obsessive, incredible, kooky Susie Mosher. Susie with an S.
Susie with an S, not.
Do people
Susie
spell it with a Z, or am I just like an idiot?
No, lots of people do. But it is, there's a lot of ways to spell Susie. And
right.
It's S-U-Z-Y. No.
Yeah,
S-U-Z-I-E. It's S-U-S-I-E. For me. Just for me.
S-U-S-I-E for you.
Yeah.
Susie, you're awesome.
Well, bless your heart.
No.
You're a child.
Bless your heart. I'm just kind of waiting to go up on stage where I can't sing, but I just want you to give one of those speeches about me, about how great I am.
Okay.
Because I've watched you give it to my sister.
Oh, so yeah. Well, I build up your sister because I believe in your sister.
So do I.
She is a talented young lady, and I want to see her. I want to see her at least really explore as far as she can go.
Totally agree.
You know what I mean?
Totally agree.
I don't want there to be blocks in her way. I want her to just go because I have a feeling about her,
Yeah. And when you get that feeling about people or about things in life,
you want to see them do well. At least I do.
Totally. At least I do too. So this is not a formal interview. This is not CBS News. We are just having a play date. And the only rules I would say, use your inside voice, but we're outside. Please choose any Play-Doh to play with. I hope I got the colors right. Kind of sexist of me, but whatever.
The pinks and I will. I'll feel free.
And snacks, we've got bunnies. Get in on the snacks.
I want to get in on, I love a cheddar cheese bunny.
So these are the like unreal, they're like.
I know what those are.
Reese's, not Reese's. Are you a healthy snack mom?
For him, yes. For me, no. But I love a cheddar bunny.
Right. Okay, so Susie, we got to talk about him. We got to talk about you. We got to talk about the shows. We got to talk about the lineup.
I'm a blabbermouth.
I know, and that's why you're here in the best way. Right. Who was Susie Mosher as a kid? Where is she from? What did she do for fun? What were her after-school activities? Like, were you loud? Were you shy? Dare I ask? Like,
no, I was very loud because I was very insecure. Meaning, it's like I was.
After the bunnies? Can you hold?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I was an only child, and my parents divorced when I was 8, and I had a very vivid life in my room. I listened to a lot of Broadway shows.
What was your favorite as a kid?
Oh my God! Well, my favorite show when I was a kid, bar none, was Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yep.
Loved it.
Yep.
Can do a 2-minute condensed version of the entire show for another time.
Okay.
Yeah, obsessed with that, and I just knew what I wanted to do. Even before I started, hibernating in my room and just playing musicals, my parents both, that's what I remember them listening to, is Broadway musicals when I would go to sleep. So I was very in tune with singing and telling a story through, through that medium. And so I knew very early. The first time I saw a show, I was 8 years old, I saw Camelot at the Circle Arts Theater in Mira Mesa, San Diego.
Is that where you're from, San Diego?
San Diego, And I just knew that's what I was going to do. And I can't believe it. It's never faltered. I've always known this was my path. Now, it's been a really rocky path, It's not for the faint of heart, but my wife always, I'm gay! Okay.
And same. Do you like me more now?
Same?
Shock.
Stop it.
I know. Did the
I
caller
would
not
never
give it away?
No, not at all. You're completely not even. I would never in a million years.
There was a woman in my bed last night. Yeah.
Wow. Taller toddlers indeed. Well, now that we're just going to cut right to the chase.
Okay.
I thought
You're gay.
Gay.
Right.
And
your thing.
And what? Now I'm so flustered.
Same. We'll go back.
What was that in regards to?
You were saying Broadway never faltered, and then your wife.
Right. Oh, well, my wife, who I've been with her for 30 years.
Incredible.
And just in the past 7 years, she told me it's time for us to start having a baby. And I said, okay, knowing, that won't happen. We were both a certain age. She's younger than me, clearly. She's 15 years younger than me. She always said we were going to have a baby, but I just never really pictured that happening. But, at like 25 years, she's like, okay, it's time now. And I'm like, is it? But cut to, we have a 5-year-old son named Hudson.
I love that name.
And he is the most beautiful baby in the world. Of course, he's 5 now. He's an incredible boy. He's just a stunning, deep-thinking, sensitive man.
And I'm really cool moms.
Yeah, with 2 moms. Yeah, Hudson's got 2 moms. But it's okay. It's great. It's like growing up in this environment. He's growing up in a Manhattan Plaza, which is like 2 huge buildings filled with artists. That's what everybody in these buildings are artists.
Right.
And so we've got lots of 2 mommies. We've got lots of 2 daddies. We've got lots of, so he feels totally, not even thinking that he might be different for having 2 moms, which is brilliant.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Is your wife in the arts at all?
She was, but now when she said we're going to have a kid, she said, and I'm also going back to school to get my doctorate in computer science and AI primarily.
Great.
And so I'm like, okay, if you can do that, because I can't raise anybody on my cabaret salary. It's just not done.
Right.
So yeah, but in talking about the whole concept of a taller toddler, having a child at my age really did force a wake up to adulthood that I was not.
How so?
Well, I have to put someone before myself, and I never thought I could do that. I never experienced really doing that with, and the way that I feel about him has something more akin to a tenderness. And when I look at him, I have this feeling of must protect, which I've never experienced before. So it was, at the end of the, it's like I'm in my last leg of the journey, and to have.
You are not.
I am.
Susie!
Whatever.
That is ridiculous.
1 minute you're calling me a cougar, and next you're saying you're not too old. You're not too old, Grandma. I mean, no. But I'm, so.
Oh my God.
No, well, it's a remarkable experience having because I never wanted to have children.
Why?
Because I knew I was too selfish. I was an actor. I knew I was always going to be striving to achieve something that I thought I wanted to achieve. That I realize now. I have achieved it. I've achieved everything I've really wanted. If you said to me at 12 years, when I was a kid, you're going to be living in New York City. You're going to be in a beautiful building with a beautiful view of the Hudson River. You're going to have a person that you love and have spent, all of this, 30 years with, and you're going to get to have a child. And do what I want to do. My life is perfection. I have no complaints, and so this is what was supposed to happen, exactly the way because it happened. Everything that's supposed to happen, if it happens, it's what was supposed to happen because it happened.
Good or bad.
Yeah, good or bad. Good or bad.
The bad leads you to more good. Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah, because it's all about pivoting. It's all about going, okay, this is not working. Even at a ripe old age, you go, okay, maybe I'm going to stop doing this and I'm going to build my life around this. And it's really much easier to do that with a child, because I build my life around him.
Totally.
Totally.
Which is so, I obviously I'm not with child or don't have one, but one day I would love to.
Yeah.
And that must be a beautiful experience, having to shape your wants and needs and priorities around someone else that you care for and
organically want to do.
Right.
Organically, it just is like
it's not a calendar invite that you have to.
No, it's not a calendar invite.
It's a kid.
It's a kid, and I really care about his experience, and I really care that he is taken care of. So yeah, I'm thinking about other ways to put money into his account because he's got his little account, and I want him to be safe. I want him to be always the best.
Hudson.
Oh God, I
want to
wish
have a play date with Hudson. Why isn't he here?
I know, because he's at school. He's going to kindergarten next year.
Oh my God, Hudson! I need a photo after this.
Well, please.
Here's the thing that sticks out to me about you, having never sat down with you prior the most, is you are so authentic. It is contagious. It is infectious. It is just lovely to be around, to the point where you have had posted the lineup and I've had such a long day of work. I'm like, I've seen my sister sing before, whatever. And I'm like, no, if Susie's doing it, I'm
that's
going.
so sweet of you.
But it's true. And my question is, you say that you had this unwavering craving, desire, knowing of Broadway, the stage,
I did.
the acting,
yes.
the
I knew what I was here to do.
But were there any moments of like self-doubt, insecurity, like also with like, I want to hear about your coming out, the first girl you had a crush on?
Listen, no, there's tons of every day when I look at how we're doing as far as the box office for us, I feel deflated. I feel like really I still have to work so fucking hard for to get 100 people into a room, and it's pretty on a daily basis. I have doubt and sadness about it all, or not sadness, just
yeah,
why is it so hard still? But then I go, because it's supposed to be.
And you're choosing the hard. Like, this is the hard that it's worth being hard for. Maybe not.
I'd like it to not be as hard.
Do you think there's a world that it can be?
Well, we are trying all kinds of things you do to get more of an audience. When we were at Birdland, because it's a world famous club, people come there anyway, and so there was a lot of walk-in. But now we're at 50,
which I love, by the way.
We're
the one right here,
Green Room 42, which is a gorgeous room. I love this room for this show. It's better there. Everyone sounds amazing there. The lights and it's because of this incredible tech person they have there.
Amazing.
Sheridan Glover, who is just a genius and really cares about how it sounds and how it looks, which I have not had a lot of experience with tech people who really give a shit. I just assume they don't, because they do show after show. But Sheridan is different, and that is one of the best things about that room. But the room is gorgeous, but it doesn't have a walk-in group. It doesn't have people. It's on 10th and 43rd, which a lot of people are like, oh, that's a long block. It's like, whatever. It's just been harder to get people to this venue. But we're going to keep trying. I'm giving myself this year to see if we can build an audience there. And if we can, great. I enjoy doing it. But if we can't, pivot. I've got a lot of other things that I do creatively. I do a show called Katrina, which is another show that I do with a guy named John Boswell, who's a genius. We were just in Palm Springs doing that. I do a lot of cruise ships. Okay, which I love.
Do you take Dramamine? Like, how do you not puke?
No.
Really?
I might have a problem with
wow.
They're big, man. They're big. It has to be pretty rocky for you to feel it.
Okay,
so,
true.
I like that. I love going on a cruise ship, doing the lineup. I use people that are guests, and I use all the other performers.
That's awesome.
No, it's great. And gay cruises. They're all gay. Gay!
Which is a great segue, Susie, because when did you know?
Oh, I didn't really. I didn't know until I was 15, and my father was a hippie, and he had really hippie, free-thinking friends, and one of his friends was a flutist who had gone to Juilliard, and I just became obsessed with her. I mean, she was like 22, I was 15, I was following her around, and then she ended up being my girlfriend, which was totally crazy.
No, that's totally awesome.
But, we were together for about a year and a half, and then I went, oh, wait a minute, this is not who I am. I'm straight. I went to a new high school, and I started having boyfriends, which was great, but then my early life was back and forth. I would either be gay or I'd be with guys. It was just a thing. And then right around...
That's like kind of where I'm at. Yeah. But keep going.
Yeah. Right around... my last real boyfriend was when I was about 24. Your age.
Wow.
Was my last real boyfriend. And then from that point on, I just knew it... I grew up as an only child, which is my mom. So I think that really... The comfort level of just being with me and my mom... The men always seemed like the other,
Totally.
The other. I didn't have you have 3 sisters, see? You had a very female-centric home, so you felt more comfortable, it's about intimacy more than it is just about sex. It's about who do I feel like lying in bed talking about what we're going to do tomorrow. And it was always, you know what I mean?
I think you have to marry your best friend.
I think so too.
I mean, it's a figuring out, and it's a spectrum, and it's about a person, but it's interesting to hear some of the themes.
Yeah. And like I said, the last time I was with a guy was when I was 24.
And was there like a, in between the 15 and 24, like, I think I know this, or this might be part of my truth, but I don't want to feel
there really
this?
wasn't. There really wasn't.
That's
amazing. It was really,
amazing.
honestly, back and forth. I considered myself bisexual, and because it would just switch on and off, but it has not shifted in a long time. I mean, I love men. I'll tell you, if you want to know, if you want to get real, for me, men, I loved feeling taken care of.
Totally.
I'm super femmy. I like being the little lady.
The little thing.
And so I really enjoyed all of that aspect of being taken care of and that. But when it got down to like when I would be with a guy and we'd be spending all our time together, I just didn't feel that it was right. The intimacy was not right for me.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, yes, and agree, and I've been there. I am there. So it's a learning. It's a
learning. And you're growing, and I'll be interested to talk to you in 10 years and hear what's going on with you, because you're so young. 24 is, like I'm saying, the last time I slept with a guy was when I was 24. That was a long time ago.
No, I know.
For me.
But it's like, I'm 24, I'm so young. You're
older than that.
But here's the thing, when I think about aging, and I've done a little bit of it, not as much as you, but like, I do think it's a privilege. And
absolutely.
And I do think, like, even with the societal female beauty standards, Botox, whatever, do whatever you need to do to make you feel good. But at the end of the day, like, when I see a woman, like, who is living in her aging beautifully, I'm like, that's attractive, just like objectively.
It is attractive because it is a privilege. Because what's the alternative? I mean, everyone has to age or die. That's just it,
Totally.
And, die young, stay pretty is the saying. But I'd rather be an old withered bag and keep living, because I love to live. I love being alive so much. And now when I've got Hudson, I love it even more. I have to be around at least until he gets into high school.
Oh my God. Yes, you will.
I hope so. I'm sorry, I'm a little cramped.
Okay. I'm good.
I'm good.
You to massage it?
No, I'm all right. I'm okay.
You will be alive when he gets into high school.
I hope so. That's my plan. I'm going to live to 100. That's my plan. So,
Susie, you're acting like you're 85 years old, and you're not.
Well, I'm pretty old.
No, you're not.
Oh, you don't know.
Where does all the vibrancy and zest for life come from? Are you going on daily walks? Is it because you're creating? Is it because you love your partner? What else?
All of the above. No, I actually think it is because I've been in entertainer for my entire life, because I feel like the vitality that it takes to get on stage and push out that energy, which is what you're doing. You're pushing out your energy, your electricity, and you're making you're like a light bulb.
Totally.
And to get that bright for those periods of time, I feel like it keeps me alive, and it keeps my face alive or something.
It does.
I don't just sort of shrink into the back, and I have been performing forever. So the vitality is who I am. I've always had a lot of energy, and which I'm so grateful for, and I am very much alive. I am super alive. That's
You're
how I feel.
living.
I'm living, man. I've got the best life, and I'm living.
You could be like 48
and look like like you're ready to go. I'm ready to stay.
The thing.
I'm staying. That's me. I'm planning on staying. So my vitality is hugely important to me. If I started sensing, that I was slowing down. Well, I am slowing down. That's not true. But I have such joie de vivre. I love being alive. I love it. So, so I'm going to stay as long as possible.
You're just, who needs an SSRI when you have Susie? I mean, this is out of control.
I'm on that too.
No, but come on. I also just think I just think everything you're saying is so true, and so much of living this life and making it worth living is a mindset. And if you don't like your job, get a new one.
That's right.
If you don't like your partner, break up with them.
Yes.
Get a divorce.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay. It's your life.
Yeah.
And you have to take responsibility for it.
Exactly, 100%.
And even in all this vitality, it's kind of one thing to know you have it as a creative, as an artist, as a performer. But sometimes there's a big gap between feeling like one thing I try to do sometimes is act. I have a lot of goals and a lot of things that I want to achieve, but I don't have a set timeline for them. I don't believe in the 5-year plan. I just believe in like the vision of it and whatever. But I sometimes like even like doing this interview, right? 2 months ago, I would have dreamed that I could do this in the middle of the workday, and now I can. Like, letting this feel the way some other big thing will feel one day, because it's like the same feeling, and like celebrating the small wins.
That's
I think is really important.
That's amazing.
But I'm so curious, like there has to be more to the vitality. I'm not over it. Like, are you drinking coffee or not? Are you drinking alcohol or not? Like
I do drink coffee.
Okay.
I'm very caffeine driven, for sure.
Yes, caffeine forward.
Yes, caffeine forward.
Yes.
And I also get a lot of sleep. I sleep like a freaking log.
Yeah.
I sleep for like 10 hours. And I don't know, it really works for me.
No, that's incredible.
I wake up because we got the kid, so he has to go to school. So you wake up at 7 and you get the little boy ready to go to school. And then, fortunately she takes him, Hope takes him, my wife. And then, it's on with the day.
Love.
So I've got a fantastic life.
I love this.
And fortunately for me, I'm really healthy right now.
And you will be.
Yeah.
Till the lineup is going in 20,045.
Right. Can you imagine?
What is the most grown-up thing you've ever done?
Most grown-up thing I've ever done. Had a child. Because it's the first time I've actually had to really assess whether I need that or if it's better. I have someone else to look out for in a way that I never had. So it's be a parent. Absolutely.
Love.
Bar none.
What's one part of adulting that sucked in the moment and now you looked back and you're grateful for the experience? Or the lesson or the rejection or the whatever. The failure.
Well, about 12 years ago, I had a real disappointment career-wise. I had been working on a show, a part that had been written for me, literally, that I helped create. And we all knew it was going to Broadway, and it was very exciting. And I did a long 6-month out-of-town thing with it. And I didn't end up going to Broadway with it. And it was devastating. I mean, I did not see it coming. And there wasn't even an inkling that was going to happen. But now I look back and I realize, oh yes, there were. And I was really defeated at that time. I thought, that's it. That's the best. I put everything into that. That's all I've got. And if that's not good enough, then. So I had a really rough year. I felt like I would see people, I would feel like everyone was talking about me. I felt like, so my wife, after about 9 months of me being just a mess, she said, oh, well, we're not going down like this. No, you need to get some help. You need to see a psychiatrist. And I got on medication.
Woo!
And life-changing. It was life-changing. And Lexapro was my gift. And now I look back and I realized that had to happen. That show came to Broadway and left quickly. And I go, okay, that's so over. It will be over whether I did it or not. It's over. So I was able to pivot. And then we got in this building. And this building was a game changer, an absolute game changer. Because
so close to everything too.
Not only that, it's that you pay what you're always paying 30% of your income. So if you're not making any money, like most performers, you're paying very little for rent.
That's incredible.
Brilliant. It's beyond fantastic. I'm so grateful. So that happened right after I got on medication. And then Jim Caruso over at Birdland said, hey, we've got this new room. Do you want to do something? And I said yes. And I pivoted back into, which I've done in other ways, hosting.
Yeah.
So I started hosting the lineup, which was nothing but glorious. And my 6 years at Birdland were fantastic. Leaving Birdland was sad, but it's because they were changing the downstairs room to strictly jazz.
Yeah.
And then they wanted me to go upstairs in front of Jim Caruso's show, Cast Party, which is it's been going for 21 years, and I just thought, I don't want to be right in front of Jim's show.
Yeah.
Because we're really good friends. It's just not a good idea. So I said, well, I'll find another place to do the lineup.
And now Green Room 42 is going to lead to the next.
Exactly.
Which is beautiful, and thank you for sharing that. I love that. Okay, what is a part of adulting that sucks?
Having to be responsible. I don't who likes being responsible? I'd rather go, oh, who cares? I'll just stay a little longer, or who cares? I can eat that, or who cares? It's like now everything it's because I have high cholesterol. I've just been told by my doctor. And so now I'm like really thinking about what I eat because I want to live to 100.
Totally.
And so, Yeah, the responsibility. They having to actually go, okay, I need to be responsible. That's the word.
Responsible. Yeah, I think making it small too, like knowing you have to do it or have to get yourself to bed at a certain time or leave this or do that or set a boundary.
Yeah,
It's hard.
It's hard.
It comes with the beautiful freedom of being an adult and having autonomy, but it's the one kind of annoying.
Yeah, I don't like having to be responsible.
What is a word that you still cannot spell without autocorrect?
Hilarious! Okay, because I'm a horrible speller.
Same.
All right. Oh, hold on. It's going to be an EI thing. Oh God, I can't think, but there's so many, because there's so many.
There's so many.
I'm so grateful to autocorrect.
Yeah.
Because I don't even have to think about that anymore. And I used to, of course, have to go to the dictionary and figure out but now I just don't even care. So any word with an I and an E and a C involved in the center of
it. So basically 3 words of the alphabet, if they are in any of the words, 3 letters, then it's over.
Yeah.
What would you tell your younger self?
I'd say, hooray, you're going to love life all the way through. Even when you are deeply depressed, you're going to know it's going to get better. You love life, and hooray, because it makes it so much better.
I love that so much. What would she say if she could see where you are now?
Wow! She'd say, wow, you did it. You did it. You live in New York City? All the above. Yeah. She'd say, wow.
Wow.
Well done.
What snack makes you feel like everything is going to be okay again? It could be a current fixation, a childhood snack, something your mom made for you, something you made yourself, something you make Hudson.
Well, it's funny you said my mom, because, my mom died when I was pretty young, and so I miss my mom a lot. Yeah. In various times, especially with the kid. She used to make something called pot cheese balls, which was made with pot cheese, which is kind of like a cottage cheese. But she would boil them, and we'd cut them and put butter on them, and they were delicious.
Yum.
No idea how she made them. I cannot recreate it. So if I could recreate my mom's pot cheese balls, I would be the happiest person, because they were delicious.
We're going to figure it out.
Oh, really?
With TikTok.
We've tried, though. Can I tell you, we have tried
cheese
pot
balls.
cheese, like POTCHEE, not pot cheese.
And it's not weed.
No, it's not weed.
It's not pot cheese. Pot in the cheese.
No. That would be fun too. I do enjoy the gummies.
I know, same. My sister got me into them.
Yeah, I'm totally into gummies. But no, it's not pot cheese. It's pot cheese. Pot cheese is a type of like cottage cheese.
Okay, pot cheese.
If you find it, I will be so excited.
I'm gonna look.
I've looked. My wife has really searched the internet first for it.
You made like a sign for her. Of how to
Mom.
do it. Mom, come on. When was the last time you cried?
Oh God. I cry fairly regularly. I'm not afraid to cry. I like to cry. It's cleansing.
Totally.
Probably in the last month sometime. I don't even know what it was. It was nothing serious. Frustration, usually. When I get really frustrated, sometimes I just cry,
Totally.
So
let's take a pic or 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I feel like we should lay down. It's like so cute.